Okay, bit of history. This is my original Bugs 3. I had another one which I bought a bit later, but that lives in the bottom of a pond. I then bought a Bugs 6, and by then I'd gotten to customised propellers, cut down some of my props. You might notice looking at these that there's no prop nuts. There's a reason for that I'll get to in a moment. The next one I bought, which was only about a month or so ago, was this one, which I've got extended undercarriage on and canted back legs to allow a camera. Also on it, as a result of the pond incident, I've now got a newer camera. I've got a Xiaomi Y1 light hanging underneath it. It's been too windy to do much with it, which I'll show you later in the video. And finally, this one came yesterday. So this is my first red Bugs. These two both came from Gearbest. They had two different specials and I dived in. They're both running Eachine TX03 cameras. This one I broke the cloverleaf off, so I've had an extended single wire antenna, which is not as good as the cloverleaf, but it'll do. Okay, so that's the background, and at the end there's the jumper. So all my Bugs 3s now are bound to the jumper and we'll work with it. And I've been doing some outdoor flying, so I'll give you an idea of what that's been like. So I'm flying my camera bird now, just checking the lights. And that flashing light indicates I've got a low battery. I didn't realise at the time. And this is what happened when I took it up. Really sluggish. So I was quite surprised by that, and it actually tipped over, so I picked it up and took it back. And when I tested the battery later, I found it was down to 7.5 volts, which is fine. So I recharged it and no problem. But here you can see it won't even take off. So interesting thing to find. You've got to watch your battery with this without a battery warning. So this is a little bit later with a fully charged battery. Another camera, and it has no problem lifting the camera at all. In fact, the other camera is the camera slung underneath it, the Y1 light. The only problem there was it was so non-sluggish that I crashed it. I'm finding I've got so much more, not that you could tell from that last crash, but I've got so much more control with the Bugs than I have compared to the standard transmitter. Because in a moment I'll fly the new one, and I flew that first after I linked it to the jumper with the standard controller, and then I went to the jumper, and I was amazed at the difference it made. I certainly couldn't hold a bird this steady on the standard MJX Bugs controller. So I attempted to play with it indoors because it had continuing high wind. Eventually I did take it outside and I have some footage. I was going to put it on the end of this video, but this one goes on for a bit, so I'll make another video later showing the outdoor flying. But I'm keenly looking forward to some decent conditions, because particularly with the camera bird, I think the extra stability is going to be really good. So this footage will give you a bit of an idea about how well the jumper works with the Bugs 3. As I say, that these are both new. They've got the VO4 motherboard, which came out, I think the date stamp on the flight control boards is around about March 2017. So although they're new, they were obviously built some time ago. I was just keen to stock up on Bugs on the off chance that MJX decided to discontinue them. Because for my purposes, the original Bugs 3 is a better bet than anything that's come since. In fact, its ability to combine a so-called toy grade quad with a hobby grade controller to mix and match
reminds me of the early days of the Apple IIc and then later the IBM PC. They both started off as very open systems. You could mix and match and do whatever you wanted to. Eventually the manufacturers caught on, made them more proprietary, prices went up, and the fun went out of it. So I feel we're into this hobby at just the right time. So what I'm doing now is flying the one that came yesterday. My first red Bugs 3. So I've got a Ishin TX03 in the nose of this with a whip antenna. So that's what you're seeing at the top corner. The bottom corner I've got the Xiaomi Y1 just sitting on a sideboard to take a little bit of side footage. I'll cut that out after a bit. Again, without the encumbrance of the long landing gear and the camera, this is just even easier to control and hover. It's most unfortunate that Jumper have changed the specs or the software in the new yellow one to the point where it doesn't work with the same software, so you can't run a Bugs 3, but that's progress for you folks. One thing I do notice with the Jumper, at the moment I've got it set up for maximum yaw, and that yaw rate is a lot faster than you get on the Bugs 3 transmitter, and that's been a little, I love it, but it's something to get used to, particularly outdoors. It can flick around so quickly compared to how it normally performs. So I had a lot of trouble yawing rapidly indoors, so I'm trying at a low altitude, but even so, not very successful. But it's a lot of fun trying. So that's it for now. So see you later and have fun flying. Bye.